IVM.
Are you just bored of doing the same old things in your city? The LBB I Found Awesome podcast is here to give you top 5 things to do every week in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore and Pune from your go-to local recommendations platform across new restaurants, events, budget shopping, weekend getaways and lots more. Episodes out every Thursday on the IVM app, website and anywhere you get your podcast from.
Hi,
You're
listening to IVM
Daily.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of IVM Daily, a show where we talk about our experiences, anything, everything, news, all of that now. So today in the studio I have with me Swati, Abbas,
Hello.
and Priyanka.
Priyanka, hi.
Yeah. Okay. So today I was feeling very, very homesick. As a lot of you guys know, I'm not from Mumbai. I grew up outside of here. And we were all discussing in the office today our experiences of moving cities. So let's start with you, Swati. I mean, we don't know much about your history of where geographically you have been, you know. So where all have you been? Where have you grown up?
Okay, so till now, I have moved 4 cities.
Okay.
I was born in Lucknow. Then I did my higher education in Delhi.
So until your higher education, you were in Lucknow only?
Yes, I did graduation, undergrad, from Lucknow. And then I did my master's in journalism, everything in Delhi.
Okay.
Then for past 2 years, I was in London.
Okay,
and now
wow.
I'm in Mumbai. So it's been
Wow.
quite a journey.
Wow, amazing. And how has it always been for you, like transitioning from one city to another? Do you have this kind of like
Belongingness.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you're gonna miss the city you were in? Like,
I think when we live in a particular place, we do not realize what that place has actually offered us.
Mm-hmm.
Once you move out of that space, then you realize that what exactly are you going to miss about that city?
the grass is always greener,
Yes.
kind of thing.
You know, when I was leaving Delhi, I never realized that I would miss that place for any reason.
Okay.
But now...
After coming to Mumbai, after coming to IVM, after meeting us.
No, because it becomes a kind of comfort zone. So, what do you think, Abbas?
About comfort zone?
His chair is his comfort zone. So
Yeah,
he can't-
but he's also moved
I've
from...
moved many chairs, that's true.
Yeah, so you moved from Bombay to Bangalore, I think.
Yeah, for a while. I've been born and brought up in Mumbai, but for a brief period in my life, for my studies, I moved to Bangalore. I think what also matters is at what age you go to another city. Like in my case, I was in Bangalore from the age of 17 to 22, which is a very impressionable age.
Very
So,
true.
so I think the memories you form and at that point in time of your life stay with you for a long time, and those memories I always associate with Bangalore.
Right.
So for me, but I agree with Swati's point that until you move from the city, you don't always, like you keep quoting one of Ed Helms' quote from The
Yeah.
Office. You don't know the good times when you're living them, and it's only after you
Yeah.
have.
Yes.
So yeah, I think moving cities makes more it makes you nostalgic in retrospect, I think. And I still love Bangalore. I still prefer living in Bangalore than Mumbai. So yeah.
And Priyanka, you have moved a lot of places too. Can we get the whole list?
Through school and higher education and for work, and then finally last year was back in Bombay.
Which places were you?
So Saudi, Bahrain, Gurgaon,
Wow, that escalated
Bombay,
very quickly.
Bangalore. Yes.
Saudi, Bahrain, Gurgaon.
Yeah.
Was it similar living in Saudi and Gurgaon?
It was as bad. It was just, I remember the memories of like my mom stepping out in Saudi where
Right.
she had to wear
Abaya.
You have to wear an abaya,
Yeah.
and you're never allowed to even show a little of your hair or by chance. And she was stopped by the moral police there.
Right.
And I remember this as like a 3-year-old because when girls grow up also, even if you're in your teens or whatever it is, you should always be cladded. So I'm glad we got the hell out of there. I think For me, I came back to Bombay because I knew that this was the place I want to be in also that it was comfortable as of now, but I'm good to live out of a suitcase. I'm really fine to move from one place to another. But I know that I need to set that for myself, that if I'm going to be on the move, there are certain things that I need to prepare myself for. And I think I've come back to Bombay to prepare myself for my next few journeys or wherever I want to be.
And that means, you're still planning to move even after Mumbai. That's interesting. That means you have this nature of, adaptability, which is quite rare these days. People are usually set in their own ways. Before we go on to our break, we actually got some responses on the Haiku Jam app for the
Topic.
2 truths, 1 lie topic. So, Swati, can you just tell us some of them?
Yes. So I think it connects very well to the topic that we're discussing today.
Oh, really?
And this haiku is, I miss you, I respect you, but I don't love you.
Okay.
So, I don't...
It's a 2 truths, 1 lie.
Yeah,
One
do we
lie,
spot
so-
the lie out of this?
No, the lies
Yes,
I think
you
are very
can.
apparent. I think the
Lie
lie
is
is very
like,
apparent.
I don't love you.
Obviously.
So
yeah.
this is written by
It's
3
like-
people, like Haiku Jam allows.
It's like that song from Delhi Belly. I love you like I
Hate you. Yeah. And it somewhere connects to this idea that, you love the city or you might also hate it, but
That's
you do not
true.
know that you
Like,
love it or
yeah.
not.
Bombay I love at Marine Drive. I hate it at Science Circle. Because
So
I'm
this
stuck in
haiku is
traffic.
written by 3 people, as Haiku Jam allows. It's John 880, Suman Vashisht 588, and Vishu Deshani. 3 people have written this.
That's
Right.
cool, yeah. I mean, they should definitely write more stuff together and post it up. So that was an entry from Haiku Jam on one of the topics that we had given to them, 2 truths, 1 lie.
yeah.
So I think today's topic that we're going to be giving to them is going to be all about belonging.
Belonging.
And I think that'll be a fantastic one to see what comes out of that woodwork. On that note, we'll just take a small break right here and be right back to hear more stories of us moving on.
Long, long ago, not in Bethlehem, but in a place nearby, there was a wonderful birth of a huge show, which I like to call Cyrus Says. A show that encapsulates everything in human history, from the first Homo sapien to the last Homo sapien, who's traversed the entire world and then come back to India. This is a show which tells you everything about everything. If you want to know, avoid Google, come to us. It's called Cyrus Says. Get new episodes every Monday and Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts from. It's simple as A, B, oh God, what comes after that?
And we're back from the break. So before the break, we were listening to about how my fellow colleagues here have been moving around India mostly. And also Priyanka was in...
Bahrain isn't in India.
I know, I was saying India mostly, and then because both of you have stories
Right,
in
that's
India,
true.
and then she was 1 year in London. And I mean, and I was going to say, Priyanka was in South, in the
Gulf, Middle East.
in the Middle East for a part of her life. So I'm very curious to know, which place do you guys call home?
That's a very difficult question, actually.
It is.
Yeah, because you think that the place where you were born is your home, but
Right.
after a point, you actually do not, feel that connection to that particular place because it somewhere fades away. The idea of home connected to a particular geography, it actually fades away.
I completely agree with you because for me, technically, my passport is Indian, but I was in Singapore for 14 years of my life, and I left here when I was 4 years old, where I really didn't form that many memories or strong friendship groups, and we didn't have Facebook when I was 4 years old. So, it was very hard to stay connected. I can barely remember names and faces from when I was that age. But yeah, for me, Singapore was kind of the home for a long time in my life.
Right.
Because that's the culture I incorporated. That's where I made my friends. That's, the values and everything. I picked it up from there.
Right.
But now that I'm back in India, I don't know, there's something definitely about being an Indian in India that...
Does it feel home?
It does feel like home. Just because... Even though I lived in Singapore, I mean my family is Indian, so I mean the food we eat is Indian, the languages we speak at home, my mother tongue is Kannada.
Yeah.
So it's when I come back to India, all these cultural influences come back, and it's very, very easy for me to adapt in a place like Mumbai.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me like, why are you in Mumbai? Why not like live outside when you had the opportunity? And I'm like, it's not about the fancy high skyscrapers or things like that. It's just where you're most comfortable. And after 4 years here, definitely Mumbai has that home vibe for me. So
I think that it also has to do with the time you're away from home. So like I said, I moved to Bangalore for studies when I was 17, right? And I came back when I was 22. So at the age of 17, I left my home house where I was born, where I grew up, right? And I came back at 22. And of course, I used to visit home for a few days or weeks when I was in Bangalore. Even then, it's just every time you come back home, you see there's a new flyover where there used to be a tree. Your playground isn't there anymore. Your neighbors have changed. There are new people who've moved in who you don't know anything about, right?
Yeah.
So over time, you feel like
dislocated.
The memories that you associated with that place, they kind of quite
displaced.
literally, they move away. So you kind of start feeling like, I don't know if I can call this place my home anymore, because the things I used to associate it with are not there anymore. So then I think over time, then you sort of try and find your own niche or your own place where you can call.
Also, that if you travel to other places and you come back home, is your home really the same to you? Like, not in terms of, you've mentioned physical factors, things change around you, but when you come back home, do you look at it the same way? Because I believe that for the number of places you've been, for the number of places you've experienced, you come back with all of those places inside you, and that's when you cannot connect to that place you called home once, because you expect something, you expect your personality comes in place, you've traveled so many places. I don't think, when I left Bombay, it was, I left because I thought I was done with it. And then I realized that whereas my work is concerned, I would be better off in Bombay. But now I know that, it'd probably be just the work that'll be priority even if I go anywhere else. But it's not the same for me.
I'll tell you what, there is a sense of relief for a little while when you come back, because you know your way around.
There's a sense of
the
comfort.
city. There is a sense of comfort, as in when you land, like if I come back from another city, and I land in Bombay, I feel like, I know this place. I know where I can talk to the cab guy, I can tell him the route to take, so on and so forth. I can buy my cigarettes from the guy I've been buying cigarettes for years or whatever. So you sort of feel like there is a sense of relief for a little while, but then again you feel like exploring again.
I think the most important thing is security. Wherever you feel safe, that's where your home is. In the sense,
but then that safety kind of has.
It's what you make a safe place also.
No, in the sense, I mean, it's a very common belief that humans are scared of things that we don't understand or don't know, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, if you go to a new place, even if you vibe with it, it won't feel like home until you know the ins and outs. Okay, this is the charge, how much it takes from Lower Parel to Bandra.
Yeah, that's
no one
That's
can
what
trick
he's
me
saying.
and no
That's
one
what I'm
can
saying,
fool me. Exactly. Yeah, I
that
was
sense of
agreeing with you.
security. Sure. No, I'm trying to make another point based off of that. Is that sometimes that sense of security seeps into boredom, and that's when you feel like moving away also.
Like, because you know the ins and out of this place, you're like, hey, what else can I do? What do I look forward to? And mentally also, if you're in the place that, hey, I'm safe and secure, and now I'm ready to step out and get out of my comfort zone or take on any other place, and so be it. So it's just when you decide to leave home.
It seems like home becomes a place which no longer challenges you, in the sense because when you move to another city, you're challenged by the space, by everything about that particular place, which your home doesn't do any longer.
When you guys were moving around, did you guys move around with your families, or were you guys alone? Because I think that makes a huge difference to what place you call home.
It does.
For me, my mother did live with me for a little while when I moved to Bangalore. So in those days, yes, it did feel like I took a part of my home with me. But when she left and I was on my own completely, then it felt like, oh shit, I have to
now
do
I'm
everything.
in a new place. Yeah, I think as I say, home is where the heart is kind of thing. So it's actually where your family is that you feel like is at home. When you go back home, you're actually just going back to your family and everything.
Yeah.
So maybe if you guys are listening to this episode and you guys are far away from your family, give them a ring and just, be like, what's up? So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what homesick is. It's not really the house you're missing, it's the people.
People, that's
right?
true.
Yeah, so I mean, that was our episode on belonging, moving cities, and home. So if you guys have any thoughts or any experiences that you have had on moving, please do share them with us on all our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcasts. You can connect to me directly at Aya_G on Instagram. And Swati?
I'm available on Twitter, Swati Bakshi02.
I'm on Twitter @Abbas Momin and on Instagram as Abbas Momin88.
My Twitter handle is Priyanka1091. That's about it.
All right, then. Thank you so much, guys. And thanks, guys, for listening. Until next time, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
As you can see, we have a podcast listener in his natural habitat. Billions of years of evolution have led him to this point. He's on his way to work, and listening to podcasts makes his miserable day better. He will now head to work and use all his knowledge to communicate with other colleagues and possibly future mates. You can find more of his species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out all the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.